Welcome back to Saxthorpe Farms, and first thing I'm going to show you is me picking up a bargain when I finished doing stuff last night on the game, which is a duplicate of the animal trailer that we've got for only 8 grand. And what that means is it's going to be easier to expand doing beef. We've got enough tractors that I can just run one on follow me or auto drive, and that's way cheaper than buying a big animal trailer to run behind one of the trucks. Did that, and then all the bales are now up at the cow farm, and the hay needs stacking away, so we're going to get that done. And then we are going to be doing a couple of jobs in this video. I've got another big forage contract that I've taken, and I am just going to see if auto drive and courseplay can run that on their own, basically to make use of the kit we've got to earn some cash. And then at the end we'll do the same trick that I did before and mow what the farmer doesn't want and bale that ourselves so we get a little bit more. And that's probably going to mean that we can make use of the new trailer and expand how much beef we're farming, which means we can earn more money, which is all good. There is another thing that we are going to tackle, which you will have seen in the thumbnail. We'll do that in a moment. The other farming job we're going to do is we're going to get our grass mown and baled, and yeah, even more cow feed, so that's good. The cows are grazing, but as I kind of expected, the pasture's not big enough to support grazing for a super long time, so that's fine. That was entirely what I expected. But it does mean we're going to need to keep feeding the cows through the summer, particularly if we expand it. So whether I move some out so that the pasture has enough capacity to graze all of the animals that are in there and the others we feed, I don't know. So this is the other thing we're going to do. Now I'll explain the sound. So we're going to buy this little plot for 43 for £17,000. We need to buy all of the map anyway, and we're going to stick a big old antenna on it. So I was watching Mr. CDP's video where he did a bunch of this and didn't actually farm, and I thought, actually, if we're going to speed this series up a bit, sticking one of these in isn't going to hurt. So £25,000, it supposedly makes 67,000 a month, so it's going to very quickly make a return. Why are you hearing music? So in my continued issues with recording stuff at the moment, they've not really affected FarmSim too much, but something funny happened in OBS, and the way that I grabbed the game sound stopped working, and I didn't notice, and it actually took a bit of a faff to fix. So I didn't notice until I was editing this video, which is why there's no game sound and there's a bit of background music playing, just so you don't have to listen to just me. Yeah, had all sorts of issues with OBS lately, so this was one of them. It's fixed now and it works. It was a little bit annoying. So courseplay set up. We've got the 8280 over here with the bigger forage trailer to do the first lot of carting, and yeah, we'll just see how it goes. I do end up bringing another tractor over to do the carting, and you'll see once courseplay kicks in, this was a pretty crazily long job to tackle, so it doesn't actually get finished until between this video and the next one, because it took a really long time. Upgrading the forage harvester is definitely on the list of things we need to do. So this one, the one in front of us, was the one we could afford at the time, from a manufacturer that I didn't know made agricultural equipment, and we're just going to brush over that. So there we go. Let's get, hopefully we can get auto drive going now. If I back up to near the start point for auto drive, And actually, this worked really well, considering it's a huge field. And yeah, you can see now in Simple Inspector, it's a nearly 4-hour job to get that done. So yeah, Courseplay and Autodrive did a cracking job. The only time that it threw a curveball at me is when the forage harvester almost ran out of fuel, and Autodrive took over and drove it back to the farm to refuel it. And that just confused me. It was brilliant, but it just confused me. And it took ages because that thing only does 15 miles an hour. So. Anyway, into our field, and we are going to make some silage. Pretty sure I made silage. And although I could have headed this to semi-dry, I didn't feel like doing the extra 2 steps that involves, because, you know, once you've tedded it, you've got to windrow it again, and I just didn't fancy doing that. So we're just going to put the conditioner over it, and we will bale and wrap the conditioned grass. No cheaty feeding going on here, not like on certain places that I'm playing the game at the moment, but yeah. You see a Courseplay course loaded up from doing contracts. I hadn't spotted that when I was playing or editing. Observant me. So we'll be progressing to June after this, and I think that's probably going to be a case of making sure all the fields are fertilised, getting the grass field refertilised, and yeah, probably contracts. And I'm curious if, I might have recorded the video before you guys see this, if I spend a lot of waiting for harvest time contracting, do you want videos on that? I mean, I did last time we were at this point in the game. I went over to the Oaks a few times to do contracts, but I'm actually playing on the Oaks for the series that the patrons get, so I'm not sure if I want to double up on that or not. Curious on your thoughts. Should we head back over to the Oaks and do some contracts? I bet we could get some big old baling contracts, or do just kind of play through what I can on here, keep earning money, and keep making progress. So we have got a whole load of soybeans to sell in June or July, and that's probably going to give us enough money to buy a whole other field, which is cool. I'm actually thinking, and the soybeans won't give us enough money for this field, I'm thinking of buying a really big field on here. We need to buy it eventually anyway, and big field means big yield, means big money. So kind of thinking about using the money from the soybeans plus taking a bit of a loan out. If we push the beef a bit more while we've got plenty of feed, we can be making more to pay the loan back. I think I did have a look, and I think the loan was affordable over a relatively short period of time. Just looking at the contract, it will deliver 193,000 litres, which seemed like a huge amount. But I think I finished some of this contract. I was working at home a lot of this week, and I basically left. Did I do this last week? I left this contract running on my laptop while I was working, basically, and just kind of kept an eye on it occasionally, and it did a job for me and earned some cash, which is good. And it's been a long time since I've done that. I actually remember when I first started playing FS19, and I might have told this story, but hey, there's nothing new here, is it? I was playing on, I know I've spoken about playing on Wild West 16X before, but I originally started playing on there with a contracting business, and I ended up with 5 case Steiger tractors, old ones, and I think I had all 5 running contracts, and doing that while I was sat in online meetings at work with it just running in the background, earning ridiculous amounts of money because the map was huge, and so contracts paid huge amounts of money. And yeah, make a lot of cash doing that. And you could probably do the same on the Oaks with it being such a big map. I bet the foraging contracts are interesting on there. I would not want to do those with our little 3-meter forage harvester. Yeah, grass is cut. But there's something that's, and Kartik and I have been talking about it a fair bit, away from content. It feels like, to both of us, like FS22 content is slowing down a lot. We've both noticed it, and I don't know if people are getting a bit of game fatigue coming in, so I send that back to the farm because we don't need that anymore. We need to pick up the bale trailer, and we need the wrapper as well. Yeah, I don't know if people have, obviously there's a lot of uncertainty at the moment because there's been no announcement of a new season pass or a new game. There's lots of speculation about a new game. I love seeing the Facebook posts of people, almost every few days. Is FS25 coming out this year? And some people going, yeah, I'm pretty sure I've seen that it's this. No, you haven't, because Giants haven't announced anything. Anything else is people guessing. But there was the post by DJ Goham last week that on Steam it looks like there's been provision for upload for a new DLC. So maybe we're going to get some DLCs for a bit. Who knows? Pretty sure there'll be something at FarmCon in terms of where the game's going next. They've obviously decided to hold out until FarmCon to announce what's happening. And you could kind of maybe question the logic of that decision because there's a lot of people that are unsure about what's happening. I suspect that's affecting certain modding projects, people that are making maps and stuff. Are they going to hang on to them and wait for the next game, or are they going to get them finished and release them in the summer for a game that might only have a few months worth of life left? Yeah. Speaking of modding projects, so obviously there was we were doing a lot of stuff last year around Terra Life, and then it all went quiet. That's because basically Paul had to move and then has got quite ill and is basically going to be away from FS for a bit longer. And like a lot of big projects, you lose the guy that's got the vision and is directing things start to stall. So yeah, there's little bits going on still, but it's kind of lost momentum. It hasn't stopped, it hasn't been canned. It's just we don't have the guy sat at the rudder to guide the program at the moment. The same with the Maze Plus updates. So just kind of be patient. It's not gone away. It's just paused. Everything's just kind of on hold. And it's really because Paul's had to step away, and he was kind of the guy running and coordinating everything. So, yeah. I'm curious what you guys think about things like the radio tower. So obviously on here, we've now got a new production, which I haven't actually taken any cash out of yet, but interested to see how that pays. We'll probably do that once I've got the fields all in a good state, because then we don't need any of it until we generate more. We've got the radio tower generating income on land that we've brought. We've done the beef thing. So I sent another tractor over to cart for the contract. We've done the beef thing, and they're all kind of a little bit different. I did have a look. I don't think there's really anywhere on this map to do forestry at any kind of scale. But there's more forestry coming for those of you that like forestry. Bear with me. It's a slow burn project. But yeah, so I'm not going to get into big production sites. I'm still not a fan of those. Don't want to, we've got the grain dryer as well to put all of our wheat and barley and oats through. I don't want to get into like particularly the spinneries and stuff that we did on Greenlands, but I'm open to people suggesting other ideas. I'm not saying I will use them. Don't get upset if you propose an idea and I don't use it. But, like seeing Mr. CDP do the video with all the generators, stuff like that, I'm kind of curious. I mean, it's almost got me thinking that if we're going to own the whole map, maybe we grow some solars, They seem to pay well. And if you look around, I don't know about other countries, but if you look around the UK, there are a lot of farmers growing solars. So clearly they pay well. Now, in FS, some of them don't. Some of them, in fact, don't ever break even. But maybe there are some that do. Maybe we could grow some solars. That might be fun. Yeah. I'm trying to stay away from the 26 bales off that field. It's pretty good. 170,000 litres of silage. That's pretty nice. I'm trying to stay away from my default of just put a BGA in. Put a mini BGA in or an industrial BGA in and start making loads of cash. I don't want to do that on here. When we buy the BGA, which is really expensive, I might then do the XML swap to make it the industrial BGA or make it perform better. Because it's a base game BGA and base game BGA suck. But I think it's like $1 million, $1.5 million, so it's a way off. It might be a very, towards the end of the series that we can actually afford to buy that. But yeah, I'm curious of some ideas to improve our profitability. I guess the one that I haven't used that we could maybe throw in is the butcher mod. Not used that before. We're raising beef. I'm pretty sure it made beef significantly more profitable. We would probably have to go away from the current approach of keeping them for a month and selling them. But that's an option. That would also make other animals more profitable. Maybe we could set up a pig farm. It seems like Caltech's doing pretty well out of pigs and butchery on Court Farms. So maybe that's an option. Just trying to think of ideas. Basically, and this is something that Caltech and I did talk about, and I hope you don't mind me talking about this kind of stuff, buddy, that some stuff's got to feeling a bit stale and samey. That's why I'm working on something different, and that'll come when it's ready. But it's why I'm curious about different ideas to kind of not necessarily speed things up, but change things up a little bit on here. So I'm not looking to change the Glenarvan series. That's what it is. That will move maps in a little bit, and that will freshen that up because we're going to go to a very different map. Yeah. So I've got Courseplay doing some more of the wrapping. I've loaded up a bunch of the bales to take them up to the cow farm. We're not going to fit all of the bales on the trailer, so I've done a decent amount. And something that I was talking about last time, definitely feeling the weight using the 7230 versus the 8280. A very different carting experience with the weight of the bales on the back. Yeah, it definitely made a difference when I was doing those contracts and shifting all of those bales using the more powerful, faster tractor. And being more powerful made it faster. And I did actually think about just dropping the bales at the main farm and then running them up to the cow farm later, but that felt like a kind of a lazy approach, if I was being honest. So I didn't do that. We are going to take them up. So we're about 40 minutes into the silage contract. I think, I'm not sure if we're still on our first trailer full. No, I think we're on the second trailer full now. And I've gone wrong. I need to turn around. Not sure why I paused it there, but hey. Yeah, we're going to back into here and turn around. So this is the entrance to the expensive BGA. There's a lot of other stuff for us to buy on the map first in terms of land and stuff. And I want to focus on, to some extent, and I've just spoken about all these different options. To some extent, I like the fact that this series is focused on predominantly arable farming. We've done a little bit lately in terms of animal feed because we ran out and we needed to stockpile a bunch, but probably now we'll be going back to pretty much straight arable farming for a bit. Feeding the cows doesn't take that long. If we increase it a lot, it will, but you know, it'll allow us to buy more land so we can focus more on arable. It's this whole circular thing, isn't it? Whole circular thing. So I wasn't sure if autoload would let me unload in a bunker. Never tried it before, but I wasn't sure. So we're going to give it a try because this is a nice place to store spare unfermented side bales. So all the other bales that we've got out are fermented. So we'll want to use those, but these are unfermented. So I thought I'd stick them in here, let them ferment. Can't see us using both of these bunkers in any time soon. When we get round to doing maize silage, we will need a bunker to put it in, or we can use the fermenting silos down at the main farm. Something I've spotted on here. So it's May. We are whole cropping barley. We can also still plant corn. So with this, the way this is set up, because this is the standard UKGO. If you get barley planted early and forage it, you can double crop. I didn't think you could. I know Cartec tried it and had to cheat. But you can double crop with barley. I don't know if any of the other grains will. I had a good look around the map and there are no other fields that are in that state. So, but you know, we've done a few barley forage contracts. So it seems like if you plant barley early, you can do barley for silage and then maize for silage, which is cool. I like that. It's a good way of maximising return from a field in terms of probably cash, actually, because silage pays well. You can get 2 crops off it in a year. So I need to have a look at that in a bit more detail. I was trying to see if we could see the radio tower from here. I think it's back that way, but I'm guessing it's got its visual distance set relatively low because it's an all platforms mod, and that's one of the things you can do on all platforms mods to reduce the impact on performance. So, as I say, I'm going to finish the silage contract up off camera because there's 3 hours to go. I'll come back to it when we are in the next video. So kind of like we started a previous one, we'll come back to a forage contract and see how many bales we got and how much money we made. Anyway, thanks for watching, guys. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, click the like button. Thank you to the patrons and the YouTube channel members. And I will see you guys next time.